Welcome to another edition of the Central Arkansas Basketball Report. I'm your host, Steve Owens, and we'll hear from head coaches Corliss Williamson and Sandra rushing in a few moments. The Bears were at home for two more games this week. Central Arkansas hosted Southeastern Louisiana on Thursday night. It's a blackout night, and also ESPN3 and the Southland Conference Television Network was in town. The UCA men lost a heartbreaker at the buzzer, while the UCA Sugar Bears lost in regulation. While on Saturday, both teams back at home, concluding a four-game homestand. The UCA men rebounded to beat Nicholls State, while the Sugar Bears lost another one here at home to Nicholls State. We'll look back at both those games right after this.
This is the Central Arkansas Basketball Report, sponsored by Conway Chamber of Commerce, AT&T, All Clean Restoration Services, CRAIN Automotive, AT&T, The Real Yellow Pages, Sonic Drive-In, Log Cabin Democrat, and Zaxby's.
If you're coming to Conway for football, get ready to put your game face on. For shopping, dining, accommodations, and more, come for football. Stay to play. Learn more at conwayarkansas.org.
Flooding happens. When it does, call All Clean Restoration, Arkansas's solution to disaster restoration, flooding, fire and smoke, tornado, and more. We are Arkansas's #1 restoration company, able to reverse the damage of any disaster, large or small, and get your home or business back to the way it should be.
Tell your insurance company you prefer All Clean Restoration.
All Clean Restoration, proudly serving all of Arkansas.
Welcome back to the show, and joining me, head coach Corliss Williamson, and continuing on the four-game homestand this week with two games against Southeastern Louisiana and Nicholls State. And ESPN3 came to town, the big Southland Conference television game, and although it's not necessarily on broadcast cable television, able to showcase your team in the Fair Center in this atmosphere in front of a worldwide audience. I know that was a special deal to go on Thursday night.
Yes, it was. You know, we had the blackout night, so our guys wore the black uniforms, the coaches, we dressed appropriately, the fans had black T-shirts on, so it was a great atmosphere, you know, especially to have a game on ESPN3 where you can have people that can watch around the world. It was just a great opportunity to showcase Central Arkansas basketball. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on the winning end, but I thought the game was very noteworthy of being televised if they wanted to. Especially if you have recruits or families of recruits looking in and see the atmosphere, the fans were into it, the way this team carries itself. I know that projected positive to recruits and families that you're desperately trying to reach. Yes, it does. You know, when people have an opportunity to see your program, whether it's on the internet, television, or however they get a chance to see you, it definitely gives you a boost in recruiting. You know, they have an opportunity to see your style of play, the culture of your program, the support that we have. So it was good for us to have an opportunity to be on ESPN3. Southeastern Louisiana was your opponent for blackout night. As you mentioned, as we go to the highlights, you had the black uniforms on. You thought you owed Southeastern, lost by 4 down in Hammond. Kind of talk about the matchup going in. Well, you know, going to the game against Southeastern, you know, we unfortunately we were without Jarvis Gardner, so we were a little short-handed. We thought our guys came out and played extremely hard to give themselves an opportunity to win the basketball game. But you know, we wanted to find a way to get this game back because we knew it would come down to the end. We talked about it earlier in the conference season when you were without LaQuinton Miles, and now without Jarvis Gardner. The good news is that gives somebody else an opportunity to step up and maybe take a leadership role and show you what they can do. Yes, it does. You know, I thought Anthony Borden played well for us that night. Ended up with 13 points in Jarvis Gardner's absence. I thought we had some guys come off the bench. Terrell Brown played hard for us and gave us some good minutes. Zach Padgett, you see that, knocked down a three-point shot. So we had quite a few guys who tried to step up and make up for Jarvis' absence. You've seen Zach Padgett come along a little bit the last couple of weeks and really able to knock down key shots. And I know that's somebody you're going to contribute, or you want to contribute, especially hitting key shots in a late situation. Yes, it is. You know, Zach is a freshman. He played some minutes earlier in the year. Went through a spell where we didn't play him as much early in conference, going with the more experienced guys, but he stayed strong in practice, continued to work, and he's someone we're going to count on going down the stretch to give us some positive minutes. Well, you were down 5 at the break, 39-34. It came out strong to start the second half again. You kind of seen that same script play out. It's a good thing, I guess, to know that when your guys get down there, they know they're not out of it. You have a run left in you. Oh yes, I thought in the first half we settled for jump shots. We were kind of stagnant, dribbling the ball side to side. Second half we came out and we attacked the basket. You know, that's when we were at our best. We started putting pressure on the rim, started to get to the free throw line, and when we drive, we were able to create shots just like that, open one there for Linnell Brown, and then you see another drive. And see, when we attack the basket, we get a chance for offensive rebounds as well.
So you could tell in these highlights, too, the way your team was attacking the basket, but attacking the rim as well and getting the rebounds. And, of course, there's the last-second shot, or we thought was a last-second shot. And, unfortunately, things kind of go downhill from there. You got to give their guy credit, I guess, for making a shot as well. And that ended up being the game winner. We've seen your team have close games, and then, unfortunately, that last-second shot there kind of did you in.
Yes, it did. You know, that last-second shot hurt. I thought Robert Crawford knocked down a big shot for us to give us a 1-point lead. We're yelling at our guys to get back, and Quentin Miles made an excellent block. We knew they were going for a lot to set up the play, and they just did a great job of executing. And, you know, Roosevelt Johnson really hurt us that night. He had 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. So it was just one of those nights, you know, that he was going to make a big play for his team.
Offensively, you only shot 41% from the game. I know that was down from the last couple of games, but being able to come back and find a way to what you thought take a lead. Talk about the mindset of this team. Y'all have had several close games go down to basically the last possession or two. It's nothing that, although you came on the short end of this one, the way your team responds in those situations, the situation's never too big for them. And I know that's positive, as we'll see later on in the weekend.
Oh yes, our guys, they have confidence. You know, regardless of the score, they feel like if we're down, we have an opportunity to come back, and if we're up, we'll find a way to win. And we've been in so many close games this year, and our guys feel comfortable in that situation. And of course, the coaches, we get nervous. We want to find a way to extend that lead, but you know, unfortunately, we came out on the other end of this game. But our guys fought hard, and we had an opportunity to win. We had the last shot at it from half court. It looked good, but just a little wide right.
How about Crawford's shot? You mentioned it earlier, but a big shot from almost the same place on the floor that we saw.
Jarvis.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jarvis. You know, that's one of the plays that we run quite a bit. You know, in the game situations, and you know, Jarvis is normally one of the guys that's coming off getting that shot, but Robert had an opportunity to come off, and we practice it every day in the game situations, and he just executed the play well.
So the Bears fall 70-69. You dropped to 3-6 in league play and have your 3-game winning streak snap here at home. The good news is you have that short turnaround, and you play Nicholls State on Saturday afternoon, a team that also you feel like you owe after losing by 4 to start the conference season down in Thibodaux.
Yes, we did. You know, we looked at the past 2 weeks. We wanted to win 4 in a row at home to put ourselves at 500. Had a tough loss against Southeastern Louisiana, so we knew coming into Saturday's game, this was definitely a game we had to win against Nicholls State. They beat us there at their place by 4, and of course we were shorthanded then, and we were shorthanded again on Saturday without Jarvis. So our guys really wanted to find a way to get that win.
Talk about, is this one of the things you talked about, a must-win situation, because 4-6 would looked a whole lot better than 3-7 if you happen to drop Saturday's game.
Oh, definitely. You know, anytime you win at home, you know, you give yourself an opportunity to go up in the ranks in your conference play. So, you know, we always talk about taking care of home court, and winning 3 out of 4 is definitely going to keep us right in the race where we need to be as far as seeding for a conference tournament bid.
As we go to the highlights, talk about the start of the game. Got off to a slow start. You contribute some of that maybe to tired legs or a hangover maybe from Thursday night against Southeastern Louisiana?
I guess you could say a hangover from the game. Our guys shouldn't have been tired. We play a lot of people on the court, so they should have been fresh. But for some reason we just weren't into it mentally. I didn't think we attacked the basket well. You saw Deshaun attack there, but for the most part, I didn't think we attacked the basket at all. And Nicholls really came out on fire against us. You know, Fred Hunter is a tough guard. He had 33 points the game before. Finished with 36 against us on Saturday.
You mentioned him as he's listed as a guard, but most of his work comes down low, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, his work comes down low. He's got great footwork down there, strong. He also has the ability to step out and knock down a 3-point shot. So, you know, he's definitely a tough guard. We talked about Zach Padgett in the last game. He just knocked down a big shot for us and battled inside for a rebound as well.
One of the things that you didn't really have going for you throughout the whole game was your 3-point shooting, something you kind of rely on. You shot 43% again in the first half, 3 of 8 from the arc in the first half. It kind of went cold in the second half. trying to find different ways to score when your outside shot's not falling. It looks like toward the end of the first half, once your team picked up, y'all began attacking the basket more.
Yes, we did. We began to attack the basket. We were able to get some transition baskets. You see a lob there to Anthony Borden. We were able to pick up our defense, and get more into our style of play, getting the ball in the full court. Thought we had some guys who come in and played well off the bench. Terrell Brown gave us some great minutes. You see him finishing there. Linnell Brown also stepped up and played some major minutes for us. He ended up playing 29 minutes and had a great game.
We talked about going into the first game, the bench was going to be key, and outscoring Nicholls' bench on Saturday afternoon 32-16, your bench really stepped up big.
Yes, they did. You see Ryan Williams there, who came off the bench, scored a layup for us. Oliver Wells pushed the ball in transition. I mean, our bench played big for us. Quentin Miles didn't have one of his stronger nights, struggled a little bit, so we had to go to our bench, and we had some guys really step in and make some big plays. You see there with Terrell Brown crashing the boards and getting the offensive putback.
Another guy that came off the bench and had a big night for you was Jordan Harks, 13 points, 6 rebounds in 17 minutes. Kind of seeing him get back in a positive column as far as getting some minutes.
Oh, yeah. In the first half, he struggled a little bit, but that second half, he really came out with the warrior mindset. I mean, he was crashing the offensive glass. He was down there finishing. When we threw him the basketball, he was working hard on defense. And we went to a bigger lineup in the second half, and it gave us an opportunity to take advantage of the offensive glass. And you see there, when it's going for you, you can knock down big shots like Jordan did.
And talk about the ending of the game. You had a lead, and they made a comeback. But as we talked about in the first segment, your team it's not bigger than the situation. They've been in this situation before, and you can kind of see the confidence growing now that they can hold on to a lead and get a big win in the crunch time.
Oh, yes. Going down the stretch, I think at one point we had maybe a 7-point lead, but Nicholls, they're well coached. J.P. Piper does a great job with his team. They fought back. They hit some big shots down the stretch, but our guys stuck with it. We knocked down some key free throws and got that defensive stop at the end of the game that we needed.
Say 12 of 16 at the free throw line down the stretch when it's winning time. I know that's big.
Oh, yes. It was very big. Robert Crawford really stepped up and knocked down some big free throws for us. I think he was 11 or 12 for the night. And, when we shoot free throws like that at 71% as a team, that gives us an opportunity to win games because we do a good job of getting to the line.
And you also turned it over 11 times, so you took care of the basketball when you needed to.
Yes, we definitely took care of the basketball. Had 10 steals and also had 11 blocks. Anthony Borden had 6 blocks by himself. So we had some positive things that happened for us. One thing I didn't like was we had 27 fouls and the other team had 24 fouls. So I don't know if both teams were fouling as much or the game was called too tight.
I know the most positive aspect of the game was that 79-76 score where you picked up your 4th conference win, and now you're 4-6 in league play. You ended up this homestand winning 3 out of 4, so although the loss Thursday night against Southeastern, I'd say for the most part a pretty successful homestand.
Yes, it was. It was a successful homestand for us, winning 3 out of 4. Last year we won 8 games. We want to win more than that. We actually got to 9, and we got one more conference win than we had last year. So we're steadily improving, steadily climbing, and we see that progression. And our guys are hungry, and we want more.
Well, you're going to have a chance to get more this week as you hit back the road and take on Stephen F. Austin and Northwestern State. Not going to be easy, though, will it?
No, it's not. Both teams are in the ranked top 3 in our conference. Stephen F., they're just strong and do a good job of sticking with their game plan. So it's going to be 2 tough places to play. But I think our guys are excited. Our confidence is high right now. And that's what you need to win on the road. And having Jarvis Garner back for Thursday night's game is definitely going to help us.
Say full strength will help, and congratulations at 3 out of 4 homestand. That's not bad. You got yourself right back in the middle of the conference race, and good luck this week on the road.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to catching back up to some more teams.
That's Coach Corliss Williamson, and we return on the show. We'll have Sugar Bear head coach Sandra Rushing. Stay tuned right after this.
Hey, Jay Myers here for CRAIN Buick GMC in Conway, and we are big supporters of the UCA Bears. What we want to know is, what's your favorite Bear call? Bear call number 1. Bear call number 2. Bear call number 3. Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears! Vote for your favorite Bear call at CRAIN Buick GMC's Facebook page, plus bring in your ticket stub for an extra $500 off your next purchase. Only at the GM Giant, CRAIN Buick GMC. Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears!
Real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile. More ways to search, more ways to find. Only from AT&T.
Welcome back, and joining me now is Sugar Bear head coach Sandra Rushing. And coach, the 4-game homestand continued. You went 1-1 last week. You won Lamar in overtime, lost to McNeese State, came home, had a big night Thursday night scheduled for Southeastern Louisiana, a blackout night. Also, ESPN3 and the Southland Conference Television Network was in town, so you were able to show off the Fair Center the first time to a worldwide audience. Just kind of talk about the atmosphere and being able to show off this program to recruits, their families, and anyone else who may watch.
Well, Steve, I think the atmosphere was great. I appreciate the fans. It was exciting. You know, of course, this week did not turn out like we wanted. To go 0-2 at home is not something we want to do. But, you know, it was very difficult for me and the players. But the only thing, there's only one solution. We've got to get to work, and we've got to come in and we've got to improve. I think we took Southeastern lightly. They came in at 1-7 in the conference, and I've said all along, any given night you can get beat, and that's exactly what happened, because everybody's going to bring their A game, and we, as a veteran team, need to really realize that people are going to bring their A game, and we've got to come out and we've got to compete for 40 minutes. And I really can't say that we've competed for 40 minutes all year, and that's something, you know, we've got to improve on, because it is a 40-minute game.
We go into the game against Southeastern Louisiana. You won down there on the road in Hammond, as we go to the highlights, and you knew what they had coming in. They're dangerous. We know that. They've always given the Sugar Bears fits, even at our highest, so it's kind of odd to see what played out, but just kind of talk about the effort in the first half as this game gets underway.
Well, yeah, and Steve, I want to say this. I think sometimes when you win, people think you're doing everything right, and I think that came up this week just because we went down and we beat them pretty solid there. And then we come back and we relax, and you can't do that. You know, I just thought that we turned the ball over way too much, tried to push it, tried to play too fast, and we couldn't contain their guards. And we've got to improve on defense, and our rotation was not there.
As we get back to action, Courtney Doover and Megan Herbert, they were the theme of the game, at least offensively, for your ball club. Megan Herbert, 32 points. Courtney Doover, 21. They combined for 53 of the 64 points. Outside of those two, this team really needs somebody to step up in a big way on both ends.
I agree, and the guards are very capable of doing it, but you got to come in and you've got to work extra, and you've got to believe. And you know, everybody's playing us they're letting our guards shoot. And, you know, I just think you can't play too fast. This team cannot. Now, when you have a fast break, you take advantage of it. But we cannot run down there and just take a wild shot. First of all, we're not in rebounding position. And we're wearing our post out, because if we do miss it, we've got to go to the other end. I thought we just gave up too many easy shots. But, of course, when the ball's getting that deep, I mean, there was Ray with a spin move.
But you talked about taking care of the basketball. You turned over 21 times, talking about that tempo that you want to play. And you can tell when this team gets out of rhythm a little bit, that's when, unfortunately, the turnovers start happening.
Right, and you've got to know when to push it and when to pull it out. And that's something that I think that we get a little confused on. And I really, you know, they played us a little zone, and I thought, you know, we did a good job of getting it down low to Megan. But we've got to be able to step in and seal. There she is getting a rebound.
Let's say she had 32 points, just 6 rebounds, no defensive rebounds, which is an anomaly. But one thing that was key down in the win at Hammond was your three-point shooting. And when teams play zone like this and you end up going just 1 for 10 from behind the arc, that causes problem as well, doesn't it? Because they have the opportunity to just completely pack it in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And, you know, we're taking the ball, I mean, on our inbounds play, and we throw it away 3 times. I mean, that right there just says the flow of it and what they had us down. We've got to learn to cut hard on our inbounds. Setting screens is an issue for us too. I mean, we work on it. We need to do a good job of setting screens and setting somebody up. But you know, we've got to come in this week, and we've got to get better. We've got to come together as a team. The season's not over, and there's still a lot of basketball to be played.
The unfortunate thing is your team had a chance to win down the stretch, but Southeastern went 11 of 12 in the free throw line in the closing minutes to end up with a 6-point win, and that's tough to do when y'all were trading baskets the whole second half.
That is tough, and I think we missed some key 1-and-1s down the stretch, and you're not going to win many ball games like that. You know, that's the only time you're not guarded on the floor. You know, we should be better at our free throw percentage. And, you know, we've got a couple players that are, but then the ones that are shooting in the 50s and 60s, you know, we need to come in and spend a little bit more time.
So you dropped to 6-3 in conference play with a 70-64 loss at home to Southeastern Louisiana. So the season series was split. Disappointing loss, obviously, and you needed to go back to work. And then you have another chance on Saturday afternoon when Nicholls State comes to town. Again, a team that you won handily in Thibodaux in that opening conference game, but a lot of things went right down in Thibodaux that night.
They did. We shot the ball well. I thought we took care of the ball better than we did at home. Again, we had 21, 24 turnovers, and you're not going to win many ball games. And see, I think the turnovers really are coming a lot from us trying to play too fast and getting in a hurry instead of settling and getting into our offense. I thought the crowd was great. Saturday, we also brought a team back. It was from the 80s, and Coach Marvel was here, and it was really great to have them back, and they came in and they had the opportunity to talk with the players, and I really do appreciate them taking time to visit with our team.
So we get to the highlights for Saturday afternoon's game against Nicholls State. As we mentioned, one down in Thibodaux in the opening conference game of the year, but Nicholls is one of the most dangerous teams in the league. They didn't show up the night that we played down there. Part of the credit goes to us for the way we played, but coming back, you knew it was going to be way more difficult here at the Fair Center.
Oh, I think they're a very, very good team. I think their guards did absolutely what they wanted to, getting deep and us having to come up and help. I mean, we gave up, 32 points? Is that right, KK? I mean, you can't do that and expect to win. And then 20 turnovers killed us. I mean, there we are sporting our new pink uniforms.
I'm glad you brought that up
yes.
for those watching in.
Yeah.
And not.
You know, and I think that was a nice shot by Courtney.
You went 2 of 11 from behind the arc. It seems like when the outside shots have fallen this year, the offense has been able to set up with the inside-outside game. And the last 2 games here at home, it was not falling, and I know that proved to be difficult in trying to free some of your low post players, no matter how easy Megan Herbert makes it look sometimes.
Well, our guards have to be able to step up and have confidence when there's an open shot and not shoot a rush shot. And we still, I thought we had figured out what a good shot, you know, what we want in our offense so we can get in rebounding position. But I really thought we were out of sync defensively. People getting second and third shots, and you can't win many ball games like that.
Say KK Babin had 18 points at halftime. We were down 41-29 at the break as we continue to see first half highlights. It just dug yourself a hole again that you had to try to find a way to dig out of in the second half.
Oh, yeah, and then we're not, like I said, not doing a very good job of handling the basketball. There goes Megan coast to coast, and we've just got to stop turning the ball over.
As we move to second half action, it seems like the script seems to happen. We saw a shot down low there. We get behind against Nicholls, but then here we come back, and we're running a fast break there, and we get the layup in transition.
Right, and you know, I want us to get the ball down and get it down quick. We don't have to take a quick shot, but let's get it down, make the defense work. I thought Julia came in and did a great job, great steal right there, and really sparked us. You got to have that spark on the bench, and I thought she really did a good job.
So the bench played much better on Saturday than they did Thursday night.
Oh, absolutely, and they got a little bit, you know, probably a little bit more playing time. But Steve, we fought our way, you know, back, and we had an opportunity. Then we go down to the other end, and they drive all the way in. Our help side didn't come over, give up a 2. Then we give up a 3, and then we turn around and give up another 3. And we on defense, our defense strategies contest all 3s and put our hands up, and our hands are low. And we've got to be able to contest it and help on the drive. And that was a turnaround right there of 8 points that, you know, we couldn't score. I moved Megan to point, thought it got us back in, but then we couldn't score because she wasn't inside.
So what the highlights don't show us is we battled back and tied it up at 60-60. But then as you went through that whole sequence right there, they outscored us 8-2 at the end for that 68-62 loss here at home.
Right, and those are things that we can control. You can, you know, put a hand up. At least if somebody's going to shoot a 3, make them shoot a bad 3. And if they're driving into the lane, we got to stop that. And we work on it every day. All they were doing was setting a diagonal screen, and we really work on that. That's just about court awareness and knowing where the ball is and coming off and helping, you know, playing team defense, not individual defense.
One other note, despite the loss, and now your team drops to 6-4 in league play and kind of now in the middle of the pack, but Megan Herbert set the school record for most free throws made in a career on Saturday afternoon, so another milestone she continues to reach.
Right, and she's just a tremendous player, and I'm sure there'll be some more before the year's over. But I tell you what, the one thing I know she wants is to win a championship, and we've got to get to work, and we will. We're not throwing in the towel. That's one thing that this team will not quit. Coaching staff will not quit, and we're going to come back and we're going to keep fighting this.
Say the good news is you have a month left in the season. It starts this week on the road at Stephen F. Austin, where unfortunately we've never won before. So I guess this would be a good time to start, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, and we plan on it. We've got to put our game plan in, and let's go down there and let's play.
And then Saturday afternoon at Northwestern State.
Very athletic team. Record doesn't indicate it. Their offense can give us problems if we're standing up defensively, and we need these two on the road.
Say from the first matchup against Northwestern State, you defended that Princeton and backdoor style very, very well. But going on the road, they've had a couple big wins at their home place, and it's one of those places we traditionally don't play well. So you're going to have to be pretty focused going in there.
Well, I hope we change that, and we've got to get our mindset, and we got to let this go. I mean, we've got to learn from it. We got to let it go. We still have some basketball we got to play.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us
Thank
this week.
you.
That's Coach Sandra Rushing. Again, the Bears and Sugar Bears are on the road this week. At Stephen F. Austin on Thursday night, the Sugar Bears tip off at 6 o'clock, the men at 8 o'clock, and then Saturday afternoon, a 1 o'clock tip off for the Sugar Bears at Northwestern State. For head coaches Corliss, Williamson, and Sandra Rushing, I'm Steve Owens. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Whether it's mom's smartphone, dad's tablet, Lauren's smartphone, or Kevin's smartphone, AT&T makes it affordable for the whole family to share data on all their devices. With AT&T Mobile Share, you can add a tablet for $10 a month. AT&T, rethink possible.